welcome back to the channel. It's Shay. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on your way out. And if you are tuning in again, thank you guys again so much for your support. So today we're actually going to be doing a nursing video. As many of you guys know, I did announce that I just started my first semester of nurse practitioner school. So when I did announce this, I got many requests to do a video on kind of how to get into nurse practitioner school and basically choosing nurse practitioner school. So I kind of wrote down a few pointers, and we're going to talk about a little bit of this today. And of course, as you guys have more questions and comments, leave them down below in the description box. Like this is your video. Leave them down below in the comment box. I'll answer whatever you guys need to know. And also, if you have any requests for future videos, feel free to leave them down also. I'm taking you guys along this journey with me, so I will be doing a mid-semester recap in a couple weeks. But it is the 1st of October, so I figured let me get this one down pat and let you guys know how I chose and also how to choose when you don't meet the requirements. So if you guys are interested, stay tuned. We'll jump right into it. Okay guys, if I'm looking a little crazy at the camera, you have to excuse me. Today I'm actually filming on my new vlogging camera. And I just wanted to see how it films sit-down videos. So if it looks a little bit different for the quality, that's why. I just want to kind of compare both and see where we'll go from there. But anywho, let's talk about it. So y'all want to go to NP school, you want to go for your nurse practitioner. What are the first things you need to ask yourself when you're choosing a school? So the first thing I wrote down was, how do you want to use your degree? So that is very important in choosing an NP school. Normally when you go for your FNP, I did a whole lot of research. I did research from allnurses.com or .org to reading forums to YouTube to talking to nurse practitioners in my facility at the hospital, and even I see an NP as my primary, so I even got a little bit of more information from her. So this is the basis as far as the state I live in. When you're choosing what you want to do with your degree, of course you want to ask yourself, do you want to be in acute care? Do you want to be in primary care? Do you want to specialize? If acute care is your option, you would benefit more for looking for an acute care program. But you could always go for your family nurse practitioner and then specialize. This also includes if you want to do other specialties. Of course, it'll take a little bit longer, but you can also do this. Now, let's slide over to more specialties. So women's health, you can be an FNP and practice in women's health. You can go for your CERT, or you can actually become a women's health nurse practitioner in a women's health nurse practitioner program. So make sure you explore these options. Look at time, look at the benefits, look where you can work, because whatever your goal is, you want to make sure you're on track for that. Another thing I hear a lot is Psych NP. If you're going for Psych NP, in my opinion, don't think an FNP program will benefit you. You need to just go to a program that offers Psych, because it is such a different specialty. From the pharmacology and to everything like that. I mean, you still need to be well versed, but you want to really get in a program that gets you down to what do I need to know to take care of these patients for this population. So for me, I don't know if I really talked about this a lot, but I am really looking into like community and primary. Because I work in the hospital and I see so much illness, it always turns wheels in my head like, this could have been prevented if this happened at primary. That could have been prevented if that happened at primary. So I think that's just where I fit better. But of course, like I said, you guys know acute route, you go another route, or you can do the FNP, but you will have to tack on an extra semester or some extra years if you do plan on working in the hospital. So just in general, find out what you want to do first, and the best teacher is talking to people who are actually doing it. So like if you want to do women's health, if you want to do peds, find a peds NP, find a women's health NP, talk to them, because the internet will tell you everything, but if you don't find someone who's in that field, they are kind of a better bet for you to get that handle on it. Now the second thing I talk about is what are the requirements. So typical nurse practitioner programs, GPA is a big specifier. most of them look for you to be, I think out of all the schools I looked at, the minimum was a 3.2. But majority of the schools that I applied to, you had to have a 3.5 or higher. Now, some people I know are saying, shoot, I don't have that GPA. What do I do? Well, one option you do have is you can go back to your university and take some classes to help boost that GPA. You can also apply to many different programs and see if somebody will just look at more of the other areas of your application versus your GPA. Another option also is that a lot of places look at what grade you got in nursing courses. I know the university I'm currently attending, you have to have a B or better in all nursing courses as an undergrad student in order to get into their program. So say you got like a C in a class, it was enough for you to pass nursing school, but it wasn't enough for you to get into this program. I know this is a little to consider, but if this is what you really want, why not retake the class? You've already had the knowledge, you'll get a better grade, and maybe they'll consider this person really wants to get into this program. She retook this class, and this is how she got in. Now, other requirements, I know some programs require a GRE. I did look at one program that required a GRE, and then I looked at other programs that I really wanted to go to, and they did not require a GRE. So why I'm about to sit for this exam if I don't need it? So make sure you pay attention to that. Also, they also ask for references, so make sure in advance you go around and you ask people, hey, I'm getting ready to apply for school. Would you be interested in writing a recommendation for me? I know people always scramble to get recommendations, so I always tell people if you can get there ahead of time and just let people know, hey, it's April, I'm going to apply in like June. I'm just letting you know in advance, I'll send you my resume. Can you start thinking of some things you can do for my recommendation? So that is when it comes to requirements. Okay guys, so the next thing I kind of wrote down is considering various options, and what I just wanted to make sure people know is that when I applied, I did not apply to just one program and solely trusted that I would get into that program. Now, let me say something. If you have your heart set on this program and this is the program you want to get into and you don't want to get into no other program, by all means, do what you got to do. But do consider your options. I think I applied to a total of 4 or 5 MP programs. I got into 4 out of the 5, and the one that I really wanted to get into, I found out last minute that I got accepted, and I flew with it and ran. So consider various options, considering different places, and you don't have to change what you want to do, but just consider different places or different ways you can go, because if you don't get into one, you don't want your plan to be delayed. So that's another thing I also recommend. Writing your admission essay, please, 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 y'all, clear and concise. Most of them only require a 250-word essay. Why are you doing it? What do you hope to achieve? And a big thing they look for in an essay is how this degree will help you impact the community. So, just sweet, simple, to the point. You don't gotta tell them, you know, I was in high school, I struggled, blah, 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 etc. I mean, that's good to know, and if you're, like, talking to someone else, that's good to know, but don't worry about that for the essay. They want something they can read quick and just say, okay, this girl's a fit, this girl's not a fit. Some programs do also recommend or require that you actually send them an APA paper that you wrote as an undergrad. So I always tell people, when you write these papers in undergrad, I know you just want to throw them out the window when they're done, but make sure you get a flash drive or external hard drive. Because if you got a paper that you aced, forward that for your grad and you're straight. Now, I know some places do interviews. I always tell people to treat this interview just like a common job interview. I'll actually link above here. I did talk about some job interview tips for new nurses, and I think that will also apply here without going into the details. The next thing I will also say, I already told you guys to contact your references early, so we hit that. The most important thing, y'all, if y'all don't take nothing else from this video, when choosing and when applying to an MP school, do your research. Because the top thing that I see happen a lot is people having issues with clinicals. Most clinicals for MP school require that you find your preceptor and you find your clinical, and that is a very unfortunate event because you're already so stressed out with school and everything else, that you have to add this on top of your plate. Especially for me, I'm a big networker, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to having to ask people for things, I really need to do some practice because I hate asking anyone for anything. And of course, with my goals in the future, I'm going to need to get a little bit better with that. But please, y'all, when you're choosing school, also consider how do they have a clinical liaison. Luckily for me, the school that I applied to and wanted to get into, that I'm currently in now, they handle your clinicals, and that was like my top go-getter. Like, it was like no questions asked about no other school when they said that. I'm going to y'all because if that's one less thing I have to do, I will so greatly appreciate it, and I'm already putting all my little loan dollars out, so I might as well get the best bang for my buck. So please, y'all, when you are looking into these schools, check, email, ask somebody, how do we go about clinicals? How do we go about preceptors? Because I've seen so many people get backed up on their degree, or just flat out quit school because they said, I didn't want to have to deal with having to find a preceptor, or I'm graduating 2 semesters late because I couldn't find a preceptor and I got to do this clinical late. Don't put yourself through the stress. Get that handled early. And if there's a school you want to go to and they make you choose your own, I would recommend before you even get into the clinical courses, just go ahead and network. Talk to people, say, hey, in a year, I'm going to have this class. Can I shadow you? Can you be my clinical preceptor, etc. So overall, guys, I hope this video was beneficial. I kind of talked basically about choosing NP school as well as how to get into NP school. Basically, as long as you guys did pretty well as an undergrad, you are guaranteed to get into school. Like I said before, don't let the fact that if you didn't do good discourage you. Just consider that you might have to take a little bit more extra steps in order to get to the end in the first place. So overall, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. Again, if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys have been hanging with me, thanks for all the support. Please comment down below on any future recommendations for videos, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks again.